and welcome to today's edition of Pimp My Diecasts, where we'll be taking this 36th day draguar made by Matchbox Superfast and taking it to a refugee from a scrapyard into a beauty queen, and we'll be doing it for the DMC monthly challenge. That's the Diecast and Modelers community. You'll find them over on Facebook and on YouTube. We also have a channel there, so come along and join the fun. And as you can see, she's like an ugly sister. This isn't the car I'm starting on, the one in the picture before was, but I forgot to film the turntable. Now the 36D was released in 1970 and it came in two colours over its life. It was candy red with a clear canopy, and then later on a magenta with a amber coloured canopy. So you had the two flavours there. And here we are, just a quick look at it. It's batty battered. Very, very poorly. So it's going to be getting a facelift. And not like Katie Price, our lad. That actually looks worse than what she started with. Anyway, here we go. We're unclipping it after it being drilled. And due course it's into stripper. God knows why it went dark there. But here we go, normal service is resumed. It's Starmer's Britain, that's what it is. It got censored because of the gratuitous strippers. You don't get this problem in Australia. Anyway, once it had cooled, I dropped the engine in to just strip the chrome plating off. The plastic, it had probably been better in meths. Anyway, we're filing off the central body line, because I want a smoother finish. It would have been there, to be honest. It is slightly lower on the real car with the bottom of the door line, etc. Excuse me. Still recovering from a really bad cold. Well, probably COVID. I don't do anything by halves. And here I've already polished the bumper and grill up with silver water soap. And I'm polishing the base and the exhausts. And here we go. I'm drilling. My battery were dying on my drill, so why it keeps going black on turnover, I don't know. There's something gone wrong on filming there. Anyway, here I'm tapping the hole It was drilled to 1.5mm and I'm tapping out to M2 size. So there we go. And there I'm test fitting the screws and the base. And here I'm preparing the parts for painting. And here we are, we're going into black primer. I actually had to do it a second time and I omitted the black primer out. Well, for the body shell, my actual engine and interior kept it. But at that point, no, that's still black primer. I do spray the body gunmetal. Should be in this. And then I'm spraying the engine again. And at this point I'm spraying the body gunmetal. And here I'm chroming the engine with Molotov refill. Squirted it into my airbrush and chrome it, and here I'm putting my colour onto the bodywork. I actually mixed 2 Createx candies. I mixed poison ivy, I think it was, with flipping heck, trying to think of the name of Jane's colours. But yeah, it was a dark blue. I mixed the dark blue in to give me own British racing green. And anyway, I went out the other day to photograph some roses that are flowered on a favourite patient's resting place. I fancied photographing some flowers. And here I'm super gluing my homemade screen in. I've made the screen out of a little sliver of clear plastic sheet. And just putting a bead of super glue across the base of the screen, letting it form a seal with like capillary action, etc. And here I'm taking the creative film off the back of the sheet, the protective film I should say, off the back of the sheet. And well, that's a good shot, isn't it? I totally missed that up. It's where I'm assembling the car. Well, this should have been a tried harder. I'm sure I checked everything were on screen. Anyway, here's where we started. Well, not actually, they were worse than these two. But it's a basic idea of where we started. And the one I actually did was far worse and far more beat up and battered. But anyway, I digress. We got there in the end and we've got a Rather pretty model now. Not your Katie Price, but there we go. A stunning looking roadster. Looking great. And slightly different angles. That red spot on the boot was just a fleck of dry paint. I actually wiped it off. I think it's off in later shots. I think it's gone. But it's a pretty model is what I'm saying. It's looking good. I particularly like my British Racing green candy. I made to go over the gunmetal. Gives a nice custom finish. And looks good. The interior I painted with normal brush acrylic modeller's paints. And also put a wash over them. A dark brown wash. So the cream seats look good with the detail. Anyway, thank you for watching. And tatty pie everybody. Tatty pie.